Jason, Mark, how you guys doing?
It's good to see you.
Jason, right now, we're in an interesting time. We typically put out 40 to 50,000 units a year. This year, projects aren't selling. So we're already falling behind and things are getting more and more challenging. What do you think is going to happen with our current housing crisis?
I think well before this sort of lull in terms of pre-construction going on ice, we were already seeing that come to fruition, where a lot of the immigration levels and the undersupply conversation was a very hot, highly debated topic, right? I mean, today, right now, a lot of people are hypersensitive, really focused on low-rise homes. There's not a lot of that product kicking around throughout the entire GTA. We're starting to evolve more into condominium living. It's now the norm. And so as much as we want to say there's a lot of demand and we're under supply, resale will indicate that. I think it's going to take some time to absorb. We're not down 50%, we're down 10, 15%. Condominiums have been wildly resilient. Like the swing between peak and now, it's not as drastic as you'd think when you have real estate ownership in the GTA. It's the Canadian dream, it's the GTA dream, it's the Ontario dream.
It's naturally feeding people into the condominium market because most people look at that and say, at least I get in somewhere. And with pre-con, you have an advantage because you can delay a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Right? So you have people that speculate using that, sometimes looking for assignments. But overall, most people, from my perspective, have now started shifting the mindset where it's like, let's just buy this, use it as our starter home, and then that takes us to the next gap. And then that takes us to the next step.
Yeah, you hit in two things, which is you're seeing market consolidation, right? I think the creme de la creme is rising to the top in terms of the development world. And then the second part is the lowest price has the largest demographic, right? And it'll always be that way. I think we're very price sensitive and we'll continue. What do I, what can I, it's not what I want, it's what can I afford? And condominiums are the solution. And you're right, the world is used to renting. And there's nothing wrong with that. And ownership is a totally different method of building wealth. But when you sort of talk about pre-construction as an option, the problem is pre-construction's all not the same. Right? Different builders, different sites offer totally different values. You had zero leverage as a purchaser. The price was the price. Not all builders are the same.
There's the first condo that refinanced and fed the second condo, refinanced and the third condo, and it just kind of opened up the world, right? Starting at 18, using credit card debt and leveraging whatever I could to make it where we had to go. And I think that based on what you're saying, what we're seeing, it's still a reality for a lot of people. This is a great way to enter the market. But one thing you said that really hit the nail on the head is who you align with. Partnering up with the right developers, the right builders, the right sales team to acquire assets that make sense. So with that said, tell us about the developer. Tell us about the builder.
Well, look, everyone's going to say they build the best homes. Everyone's going to say they have the track record and the locations and the experience. Just like everyone is going to put their best foot forward, right? So for us, it's like, the best thing you can do is look at your track record and deal with the professionals that have that experience dealing with that developer, right? You're going to see a logo. You're not going to understand the faces. You're not going to understand a whole lot about what's going on. It's going to look great. No one's going to build a website and it's going to look C grade. And if it already looks C grade, then you already know what you need to know. So homework is key. Track record, the experience, each project, how much have they sold? You'd hate to be going into a project and not knowing that it's 10% sold. And putting yourself at great risk. If it doesn't get to that point, what happens? It gets canceled, you get your money back years later, and then you sit there saying, how didn't I know? Right? So dealing with professionals that can give you the insight is key. But at the end of the day, working with professionals such as yourself and the team at RE/MAX and at Metropolis in particular, you're able to give the insight that goes a little deeper, right? In terms of just a developer brand, but also per project. Because there are great developers that have projects that might be at risk as well.
So Jason, you talk about specializing. CentreCourt are incredible. To have the number of builds that you have to date in such a short period of time is amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how that journey was, how it took place, how you specialize in the residential condominium market.
Well, forming a development company is really challenging, right? Because you need a lot of members of the team that are specialized. The key where I think CentreCourt diverges from the rest of the pack is the fact that we've got everything in-house. Construction management's in-house, sales and marketing's in-house, so there's a lot of alignment. And so we are communicating, we do know what's going on with each other. So that is actually our secret sauce today. But also, look, our team members are very young, they're vibrant, they're incredibly ambitious, they're not stuck in the old way of doing business. Sort of, the family business can slow down over time when you don't have people to carry it forward, right?
Mark, you hear words like master plan community, and it's almost like the word organic.
Yes.
It gets thrown around just like organic, everything's organic. What is a master plan community?
Yeah.
What does it mean to have a master plan community?
Great question. So this is a perfect example of having a master plan community. Like you said, it can be organic. The term master plan can be used very loosely. But basically, starting a master plan community is starting its own community from the ground roots and then all the way up, where we're starting with the first 2 of 10 towers in the first phase. And we started off very strong and rapid growth in sales for Tower 1. The location, close proximity to the GO trains, future BRT system that's running along Kingston Road. You got Durham Live just down the street and just minutes away from the lake as well. And beautiful established neighborhoods such as Frenchman's Bay.
Jason, in the beginning, we really touched on doing that due diligence with the builder, really trying to figure out who you're aligning with. One of the things that I look at as a lawyer when I'm advising clients is, why don't we look up the Builder's Report Card Ontario's website? Look at how many projects they've created, how many umbrellas they have under the master corporation, how many units have they actually produced, and then how many chargeable conciliations they have. When it comes to due diligence, what are the things that buyers should really look out for right now?
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head, right? I think it's one thing to build a building, but it's how does a building function? What are the purchasers experiencing on a day-to-day, whether no matter how minor or how major, mechanical, water, or just in-suite issues, deficiencies. So if you look across, our portfolio, I think we've got a really great track record in terms of very few deficiencies, and they're remediated pretty quickly. Are we perfect? No. Does every builder get to go through that experience? Absolutely. No builder in the city or in the world is perfect. But having that due diligence, having the experience of the closings that you're going to be going through with your team, whether it's Westland, whether it's Mercer, whether it's Prime, whether it's 8 Wellesley, when PCC is done, when Kipling's done, you're going to go through that and realize firsthand, like you're going to go through, you have a wealth of knowledge. Your brokerage has a wealth of knowledge. Think about how many closings you'll experience through your buyers that you'll get to see firsthand. And you'll have this wide goalpost of, this was terrible and this was way better than I would have expected. And all of that funnels into sort of like the wealth of knowledge and experience that you have.
So different people look for different kinds of products. Tell us how CentreCourt differentiate which land that they acquire to which demographic that they're serving, and how do you look to satisfy that need?
Well, for us, it's more about timeless principles, right? If you look at all of our sites across our portfolio, there are principles and there are themes that we follow. Transit connectivity has always been, go to any of our sites, it's next to a major transit hub, because that's the most important amenity to be able to get to work, get to school, go out, because not everyone could or should or want to afford a vehicle. The cost of living, it's not cheap. So public transportation is key. Then you want to be close to employment and retail spaces. You want to be close to institutions, hospital networks. Those are the themes that we identify as timeless, and we think that purchasers and renters also look for the same themes. How, is it close to the subway? A renter would see that as very valuable. An owner would see that as very valuable when they're passing on to their kids, when they're looking to downsize, conserve costs. And so when people are looking for pre-construction, as much as people are looking for different things, because for example, you have purchasers that live in a certain community like Pickering. They don't want to go to Mississauga, they don't want to go to Toronto, they don't want to go to Markham, they want to stay in Pickering. So what is the best location? What can this community give me that my home doesn't give me? What are the conveniences that I can get? It's not really an investment play, it's a lifestyle play. When I grow older and have grandkids, how can I service them? What can I give them that I can't give them in a home?